All right, hey everybody, we're on 4.2. We're going to be solving equations using multiplication or division. So I just want to start by saying that when we're solving equations or simplifying expressions, as we did in the last chapter, step one always needs to be to rewrite the equation as it is in the book to begin with. That way we can go back and we can see what steps we did and where we started. So in the last section, we were basically doing things like, get my marker here, t minus 3 is equal to 7, okay? So these are very easy, but I still want you to get in the habit of writing this part of it down, even if you can very easily see that 10 minus 3 is 7, and therefore t must be 10. Just get in the habit of doing this systematically, because that's what math is. You want to get in the habit of doing the same thing no matter what, how difficult the equation is, because later almost all of them are going to require that you do this. So this is up to you. I do not do this, but drawing a line is helpful, because anything I do on the left, I do on the right. So we're going to undo whatever operation is happening. We need to get this t by itself, and when we have t, so it helps to say it out loud. T minus 3. Well, what's the opposite of minus 3? Plus 3. Okay, negative 3 plus 3 is 0, and that's what we wanted. Now we have this t all by itself, and if we do the same thing to both sides, 7 plus 3 is 10. Now we easily can do this. In this chapter, instead of plus and minus, we're going to be doing multiplication and division. So they're going to look like 3 times t, and it's very helpful to say out loud what it is. 3t means 3 times t. The opposite of multiplication is division. So if I divide, you notice 3 over 3, well, that's 1, and that's what I want. And again, I don't draw this line, but you do want to line up your equal signs. So the main thing you're trying to do with this line is make sure your equal signs are on the line. Eventually you can remove it once you get used to having your equal signs line up. And the other thing you're trying to do is make sure that when I divided by 3 on this side, I also divided by 3 on this side and did the same thing on both sides of the line. Okay, so then I have 1t, which I write as 1t. I don't write my 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Lastly, we're going to end up with problems where it's x over 3 is equal to 4, for instance. So x divided by 3, the opposite of divided by 3 is times 3. These cancel, leaving me with 1, right, if this was 3 over 1. And therefore x is equal to 4 times 3, which is 12. And so let's keep going here. We have some problems, but again, just get in the habit of writing the original problem. So we have a very similar problem here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite my problem is equal to negative 6. As I did in the last one, x divided by 3. The opposite operation is times 3. Those will cancel, giving me x is equal to negative 6 times that same 3, just like I did here. I do here. And I have, be careful with this, we're going to be making sure we do our rational numbers from chapter 1 and 2 properly. 1 negative is negative, so I have negative 18. Over here, we have 18 is equal to negative 4y. Again, I want to make sure I get this, I isolate this variable y. Negative 4 times y, so divided by negative 4 on both sides is going to give me y on this side all by itself, which is what I want. 18 divided by negative 4 doesn't come out evenly, but we can divide both by 2, and we end up with a negative 9 halves, and I'm okay with just leaving that. So really quickly, let's look at these down here. So this is x divided by 5, so we're going to multiply both sides by 5. This is a little tricky. This is negative 1, right? There's this secret 1 in front we've talked about. So if I this is -1 times a. So if I divide both sides by -1, I end up with positive 24. This one here, divide both sides by -1.5. We always do whatever we do onto one side of the equation, you do to the other. That is the golden rule of algebra. And then I just want to show this one quickly. So when we, this would be -4/5 times x, okay? So just because there's a fraction, it's no different. Actually, it is a little bit different, but when you divide by, let me just don't even look at the rest of the problem. Let's just look at what happens when I take, I don't know, 4 divided by 4/5, okay? That would be 4/1 divided by, and then when we keep, change, flip, notice that dividing by 4/5 is the exact same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal. So they want you to use reciprocals, which is a little confusing. You're like, why are you changing the rules? We're not, okay? We still divided by 4/5, but it's just easier to go ahead and multiply both sides. Again, don't forget both sides by this -5/4. And notice, they didn't draw a line, but you could draw a line through the equal signs. That's the way we want it. So you can pause and look at how they do both of these problems. I didn't want to take too much time here, but basically you take the fraction that's being the fraction that is the coefficient. Remember, we learned what the coefficient is. The coefficient is whatever's being multiplied by the variable, and we flip it, and we multiply both sides by that flip. So in this one, I've got my arrow pointed to. We've got 3/2, so that 2/3 is multiplied by on both sides. When you multiply 2/3 times -6, don't forget it's -6/1. Don't forget to factor. Don't forget all your rules of how to use fractions. So this would be a 1, and this would be a 2, and I would end up with -4, and that's what they got here. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. But just remember that that when we're doing word problems of any sort, that is going to say there are 4 times as many of x, or 1/2, so 4 times as many as x would look like that. 1/2 of x, 1/2 of is the key word for multiplication. You could say X number of pizzas are divided into 4 slices, so we could divide that by 12. That'd be X divided by 12. So you'll see those pop up. Just recognize that's what you're looking for. Anyway, hope this was helpful. We'll see you next time. Thanks.